Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Thank you for coming on today. It's going outside this morning. It's too noisy, very noisy. It's sad whenever you try to do a video, you can't do it outside. So today we're going to talk about Wallace a little real quick, and then I'll go on what I'm talking about. 6.5 years for me. I spent $190,000 in 6.5 years in the Philippines. $190,000. Huh. Go figure. So we're going to talk about that. Update on Wallace. I didn't mention yesterday. He is on Social Security. What he did, he came here and spent all his money, all his savings. He's got to go back to the States. He's going to eventually bring his wife back. For, same old story. Their own reasons, what they are. I kind of figured out, to live in the Philippines, you almost kind of like have to have what I call the cowboy attitude. You sleep where you want. You get up where you want. It's okay if it's raining. It's okay if it's cloudy. It's okay if you don't have your horse runs away. You'll go find your horse. It's sort of like that environment all the time. If there's wolves barking at night, howling at night, if you have coyotes come and steal a bear come and steal your food, that's kind of what it is living in the Philippines. The reason I'm saying this is this. I took a look at 6.5 years, my cost of living. Now this does include, includes the house. This is included in this. So the spurts of spending $10,000, $6,000 for the van, all the old car I bought, older car I bought, used car I bought also, I paid $2,500 for. So it includes building the garage, building the roof here, includes my solar, includes everything. $190,000 in 6.5 years since I've been here, to be exact. And costs include the food, the electric, the water, the internet, miscellaneous costs, includes traveling. I think I missed honestly, about $10,000. It took me almost a solid day to get these numbers together. Believe it or not, I had to go back through all my sheets. So this includes all the taxis and the trikes and all the things that we've had to purchase or, catch a ride on. Includes the trip we went to Cebu. Includes a vacation. So I would say $20,000 of that money, honestly, is traveling. We've traveled throughout the Philippines locally here. I'm talking about going to CDO. I mean, we made over 70 trips to CDO, and 60 of those trips were on my visa. Believe it or not. Unbelievable. You didn't fill out this right. You need to fill out this right. Well, I gave it to you. Will you check everything this time, please, so I don't keep coming back here? It costs me $100 every time I come here, because time I fill up the van, do this, and or catch a bus. We got to eat, then get back home. So you're costing me money every time. So I took a look at what I've spent in USA compared to what I spend here. Before I came here, my monthly budget, I'll tell you what I did. I lived in a very nice house. I had a very nice house. I moved. I said, I can't keep living in this nice house by myself. It was a 2-story house. It was a nice house, okay? And so I sold that and went into an apartment, and then got tired of the apartment after 6 months, sold that, and went into an RV. So I lived in an RV for, I don't know, 2-3 years. My rent in RV was $350 a month. That included electric, and included on the park itself. It had swimming pools, a mini golf course. It had many things. There's always something going on there. Great place, great place. But $350 a month includes internet, electric, water, cable TV, all included in that price. $350. This is a deal. Still, by the way, it still is the deal to this day. The only thing they separated was the electric. Now is off of that, and she's telling me the average bill runs about $60, $70 a month. So figure just add another 100. So $450 today. But food, I was spending about $200 a month. Phone, I was paying $35 a month. Unlimited service nationwide. My insurance, my VIN was $130 a month. My gas, I was running about $200 a month. I threw in $200, which I already had my old budgets. I found my old budgets in a little cabinet in there, and I went through my old budgets. And my average is $1,100 a month in the United States of America. Who said you can't live cheap in the U.S.? $1,100 a month. Heck, man, $1,100 a month. And that included everything that I needed, and that was living in an RV. And I had all the comforts of home. I mean, I had, you know, 50-inch TV up in the front, and in the back I had a 32-inch. I had aircon front and back. I had everything I would need. I had, stove, kitchen, microwave. I have more in that RV than I do here. Let me put it that way. I had a lot more there in the RV than I do here in the Philippines. So that includes everything. So we spent $190,000, and that includes the cost of living here and everything else. So what I want to say also is we take things for granted, and we don't really realize how much money we spend on stuff. And if we take a look at it, and I got a list here somewhere. So cost for me here was $600 a month on average here, compared to $1,100 a month in U.S. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages to that. If I would have stayed, here's an example. If I didn't have the rose-colored glasses, took these off, I had rose-colored, just bring Ruth and our States of the United States of America, I would have probably saved, well, I know I would have saved about on a minimum of 50 grand. I know 50 grand, maybe more. Actually been more than that. So 50 grand of that money would have been saved because I wouldn't have had to buy the land, the lots here, this house, that house over there, paid for the fees for the electric, all the things that I've had to purchase. The cars, I already had a car. In fact, I had access to 2 cars. So I would have saved that money. There would have been a lot of savings that I've had to incur here. Like setups for this and setups for that. I would have saved about 50 grand because you got to buy tables and chairs and towels and stuff, plates and dishes. Even if you add all those things up, just say $1,000, right? Excluding the furniture, excluding the refrigerator, excluding the fan. I have 5 fans and air conditioner there was $500. This air conditioner here was $500. So you start adding all the things up, and you don't really realize. I mean, the tools I've spent. I spent probably $1,000 in tools here, just catching up with tools, just to have a set of tools, and not all of them are working. The new set I just paid $100 for is now not working. Now it just stopped again. I'm having a problem finding good tools here. So for me, it's been a challenge to live here to a certain extent, because you find yourself like even when I was there in the States, I would play sports. I would keep active. Sports, even at my age, even when I'm in my 50s, I still play softball. And then if I didn't play and I couldn't play because I was working so much, I'd say, hey, just sub me out. I'm out. Schedule me for next Saturday. I can play. But I would play a few along, or I would coach, or I would coach the girls, or I would do things. And I had access to swimming pools. I had access to things that kept me busy. Here, sure, you can build a nice swimming pool in your backyard. Sure, you can have a mini golf course. But then that's added occurrence here and cost. If you have the money, who cares, right? But I know of a guy down at Dumaguete. He's an attorney. He came here from California, and he's down in Duma, and that's exactly what he said. The money that he spent here, he spent a little over 100 grand already, and he's only been here a few months. And he said, I should just stayed in the States. I take that 100 grand. I had money anyway. I came here relaxation. I need something to do, because he has type A personality like myself. And type A personalities have a hard time like myself because we don't have patience, number one. Number two is our attitudes are way different, meaning I'm a done deal guy. If Ruth tells me to go do something, I do it because she tells me to do it. I go do it. And the same thing she does to me. And her personality is maybe not type A, but her personality is really kind of like, I'll get it done. And she gets it done in her time, but it's usually done in a time frame that I don't worry about it. Like, hey, but traveling here is sometimes a little bit more complicated than what I had in the United States, and what kind of meeting that you got. Like Ruth had to go to a funeral today. Someone else passed. A family member passed. I mean, there's so many of that. Of course, that's what we have to deal with when we get older. But here's something. She had to take a tricycle to the bus, off the bus to the tricycle, on ride half an hour, 40 minutes, 45 minutes on the tricycle to get there. Coming home, there's no bus. So she's got to ride the tricycle all the way back here. It's going to be hour and a half on a tricycle going 5 miles an hour because it's a 125cc and because it's the brothers, and that's as fast as it goes. It's got to go up mountains, and you guys know it'll be chugging up a mountain. It'll take them an hour or two, or maybe 3 to get home. But I've had to deal with that and a problem, and I've hurt my hip because of these trikes. But you have to really think about this. Another thing I want to talk about is, even though I spent the $190,000, do I regret it? To some extent, I do. Yes, I do want to say that. I do kind of regret it because I could have taken that money and take that 50 grand and really exerted my life and had a really good life there. If I just didn't have that stupid attitude of mind of that type A personality, let's go get it done. I'm gonna go now. I'll go do it. Even though I thought it through for 3-4 years. I thought it was just so horrible there in my mind. And in my mind, as I go back thinking about it, it wasn't as horrible as I made it out to be. And there's that cowboy in me. This, okay, sleeping on the floor here, okay. Taking a shower by bucket, okay. No water, no heat, no electric, no power, none of that stuff, okay. Can't drink the water, okay. Safety an issue. Recently, we found that safety may be an issue where I'm living, and I'm not going to go in detail about it, but safety may be an issue. And not only this, safety is an issue all over the Philippines. And so I probably won't go walking now. So I will have to figure out something to exercise here in the yard. It's just another things. And I don't care if you're living in the middle of Davao City or Manila or Quezon City or Makati or Angeles City. You have to be aware of everything that's going to be going on around you. Just be prepared. The thing of it is that bothers me more than anything else is it constantly changes here. Not saying that people said, well, I feel more safer here than I did anywhere else I've been in the world. I've been to Serbia, I've been to Bali, I've been to Cambodia, I've been to Afghanistan. I feel more secure here than I do anywhere. I'm not saying that it's not secure. I'm saying it's not as secure as it is of maybe other parts of the world, like U.S. The thing too I wanted to say about spending $190,000 is, and that includes everything. That's take my monthly budget, of. I went back and I found like 50 receipts that we had for electric, and I went and added them up. Did you know 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, same kilowatts being used, same usage, same everything as far as nothing has changed in the house. I was paying, my electricity bill was $40. $40. When it went up to 60, I remember it. We were going ballistic. I found a receipt in there for $60, our electric, and it stayed 60 for a long time. Same amount of solar, same amount of everything. 4 years ago, $60. It's gone up from 60 to 150. Same everything. That aircon's been here for the whole time I moved here. So's that one. I have 2 air conditioners. They don't run all the time. This one's running now. I turn them off at 6, and we don't turn them on until 10, and that one goes on. This one goes off earlier in the day, and I put this one on because that's inverter type, and it uses less electricity than this wall unit. But still, people here have no fans. I mean, no aircon. Their bills are still $250, $260. Guy was telling me this morning, I don't have an aircon in my house. I got a couple fans. My bill's still $260. So expect this one here would be $400 or $500 a month if I didn't have that solar. I know it would be. So that's the thing about that. I know I kind of get back on the same tangent that I was because I get frustrated and I get upset, and I'm sorry about that, and I apologize for that. But I wanted to talk about this today because people are saying, well, come here, come here, come here. Great, come here. Expect though, even though your expenses are $600, $700, $800 a month, or even $2,000, mine averages out. If you take everything I've spent here, about $2,200 a month on the average. That includes all the lump sums. So $2,200 a month is what I ended up paying here in the Philippines since I've lived here. And that includes everything. If I had taken that $2,200 a month, taken that $350, stayed where I was at, because there's that RV that I had was good. It slept six. It slept six. 2 queen-size beds in that bad boy. And the other one was a double. And it had a bunk bed in it. So, and it wasn't brand new. The thing was 18, no, it's 20 years old. It was 20 years old, but in great shape. The guy completely redid it all when I bought it. I said, why are you getting rid of it? He's military. He said, I completely gutted it. He did. New flooring. There was everything in it. It was really nice. New refrigerator, and everything was new. And he said, and I need something to do because he came back and he went back on tour. He went back in again, and he says, I just need to sell it. He said, I got a couple things I want to tell you about you need to get fixed. It's a hot water tank. Costs you about $140. And he says, there's one in the garage. Just go get it, and I'll give it to you. And another thing was something simple. I had to do with the motor. The thermostat was bad in it, he said. So I changed that out myself, and I put in the unit myself. Here, I can't do anything to put anything in. For an example, if I had to change the thermostat in just a normal thermostat, I couldn't do it. Number one, they don't have it. Number two, you don't need it. But if I had to change out something and I had to do it here, there's just not tools available. Thank you, Mr. Tom Shipman, for sending those pliers. That we finally had a set of pliers that we use, and now we can use around the house. And those pliers are being in use right now at my brother-in-law's house, those channel locks, because they don't sell them here. And when he's done with them, the neighbor wants to borrow them over here across the street because they need them really bad, channel locks. Can you believe that? A normal pair of channel lock pliers from the States, Harbor Freight. And those pliers have been used more in the last, since Tom Shipman gave me 35, 40 days than I've ever seen. So that's really about it. I just want to say that also I'm going to do another video. Why did I leave the Philippines, and what happened? What caused me to leave the United States? And so this is really kind of like different living compared to the United States of America. The pros and cons of costs. So just be prepared for the cost factor. And I think you should be fine. It's a long video. It's okay. God bless everybody. Excuse me.